break went on its own, finally off, and I've been trying to get it back refreshed, and it's not responding. Just started now. Now, I was trying to make you understand the story. This whole activity began and happened at a local, Owerri province. Then, you know, and of course, most of you know about the About Women riot. But we don't call it About Women riot. We call it Ogo Umuwai because the British cannot always be the ones to define things for us. So the name we call it Ogo Umuwai because the women who stood and fought for their rights. I was trying to give you the narrative of what really happened then. And now, one Yerowa had this encounter with Emerowa. Emerowa is the boy of the man who is in charge, who is the warrant chief in charge of that area then, who is who Emerowa was working for, and his name is Okugo. And Wanyerowa stood up to him, and then Wanyerowa went to the women and told the women what happened, how Emerowa held her by the throat, the exchanges, the fighting, because he wanted to now. Wanyerowa's husband is late, so she's a widow, but he wanted to tax her, tax the goats, the animals, the children, everything in the house. It was a strangulation, tax strangulation. The British wanted to destroy the whole system and cause, just like what we have right now, tax burden on everybody. You get your salary, you are taxed. You go to buy something, after you've been taxed on your salary, you still pay tax. Some of you don't know you pay tax, especially those of you in Africa. You don't know that you pay tax on the things you buy. Not just when you go to ShopRite, they tell you about VAT and all that. Everything you buy is taxed, directly or indirectly. So you are paying tax. Even after you have paid tax on your salary, you still pay tax on the things you buy. It's very, very critical because the companies you buy from, the places you buy from also pay tax. So they put the money or they put the extra charges on the goods and you buy it and you are taxed. So that is what is happening. Now, when Yerowa stood up and went to the meeting, the women were already having a meeting at that time when Yerowa came to her house and abused her or attacked her, and she went and narrated the story to them. And then the women were very, very angry at that time. And they decided this must stop. They were no more part of the government. They had no say in the colonial structure that was designed to strangulate the people, use a few to control the rest, and of course to decentralize the whole system of strength, of cultural value that we have, and of course also limit the powers of the women because they knew the women had a very serious influence that made the society of the Igbo race then and the people of the East then very formidable and strong. So they made the women, they cut them off, they removed them from governance. They now began to put them under economic strangulation using tax. Whenever the colonial master is going to keep you under them, they will make you stay under a burden that you keep struggling under. And before you know it, they will now begin to offer their people, bringing out their people who will begin to tell you how these things can be, resolved. They'll begin to give you ideas of what you need to do. And because you are distracted, you are burdened, you begin to listen to their proxy agents or their proxies that come to speak about how you can do this to get yourself free, to have financial liberty. People like Reno Mokri, they come and give you stories and give you lectures. And I will still take my time to discuss and talk about Reno Mokri and other people, especially the religious people and the political people who have been utilized or been used to keep the people struggling and frustrated. Very, very important that I deal with that topic. Very, very important because we need to keep up the pace of opening the eyes of our people to understand what is happening. Now, when the colonial masters or the slave masters keep you under slavery, they apply economic hardship and strangulation on you, and then you keep struggling. Now, the hardship gets you distracted because now you are thinking of how you're going to feed your children. You're thinking of how you're going to feed your family. You're not even thinking of how what you need, how you are being governed. You are thinking, oh my God, I know I can't do anything about those who are controlling me now. So I have to look for food. I have to look for this, clothing for my children. I have to do this. You keep suffering. And before you know it, your time is gone. Another generation comes and they keep designing now it is, I've come to discover that it is only those who have the power to control other people that keep strategizing to continue to create innovative strategies that will help them keep the people still under slavery and bondage because they have the resources. They employ the best brains. They employ the people, crazy, stupid people who offer their services to them to continue to design patterns and programs to help them to keep the people under slavery. And that is what they keep doing. But anyways, let me go to the story. And so people like um, Google was a warrant chief, and Emerywa was working under him. Emerywa went and abused that woman. And Emerywa, just like the saboteurs we have today, Emerywa is one of them, those who worked under the, warrant chiefs. The warrant chiefs were political partners of the colonial masters who were bought over, and gone into agreement with the colonial masters to enslave their people. So they are like the politicians we have today who are ready-made program or products of the colonial masters to enslave the people. And they have their boys who work for them, like the Ebubuago and other people. Ebuago and other people. And